Joining me now, Michigan Republican Congressman and Army veteran Peter Meijer is back. So was it really about staying longer in Afghanistan or getting out smarter?
I mean, it had to have been about getting out smarter. Again, this is the biggest frustration with the way the hearing went down. And you see this with President Biden's remarks. Everything comes down to, well, let me defend the decision to withdraw, which did have bipartisan support, rather than how this withdrawal was executed. And to that earlier question about responsibility, members of this administration, will say that the buck stops there. They take responsibility after they blame everybody else for what happened.
I mean, what is the most frustrating thing for you as someone who works as a contractor in Afghanistan, someone who was in combat in uniform in Iraq? Is it those 13 service members who were sitting ducks, who were killed by terrorists? Is it the fact that we've left so many Americans behind there? Or that, there were veterans groups and congressmen and women who've had lists of people, including SIVs, that they've been trying to get out of the country. What is most frustrating for you?
There's a lot of things that we look back on, and hindsight is 2020. There was a lot of things that we should have done differently. What really sticks with me right now are the early conversations we had about getting our Afghan allies out back in April. We had a bipartisan group working with the administration. It took them 99 days from when we started working together for them to finally start to get people out. And unfortunately, that 99 days was 15 days before everything collapsed. We wouldn't have seen the crushes at the airport. We wouldn't have had our folks be put in harm's way the way they were if we started this evacuation earlier. And again, they're American citizens who were being told to leave on the one hand, and then being told by the Biden administration that everything's fine, the situation's rosy. So there are a lot of conflicting signals, but we lost those months, and not for want of warning on behalf of members of Congress, such as myself.
And then when it really hit the fan, they were blamed, and they were told by the administration, you chose to stay. This is your fault. This is one of the casualties of war. Sometimes people get left behind. That's the mentality and the rationale of this administration, and it's completely unacceptable. And I do think there should be resignations. Who should be first to resign because of this?
I have my internal list, but frankly,
right now
we're still in the midst of this emergency.
Go ahead. You can tell us.
No, I mean, I have an Excel sheet up on my computer right now that has the list of over 300 folks who are manifested, who are ready for a flight, but there's still a dispute between the Taliban blaming the State Department blaming the Taliban, and no clear answers anyways. Folks getting told if you're, the American citizen process is being prioritized, but anyone who's not an American citizen, and today we learned there were several thousand green card holders, first time that we had gotten that information. We had always suspected it, but if you're not an American citizen, they give you an email that directs you to a website, and the website directs you to send an email. So they're trapped in this doom loop of bureaucratic, insanity.
Yes, and the 120,000 people who were airlifted out of Afghanistan, they're saying that they can't work with the Taliban to release Americans and SIVs because they don't trust the manifest. But how trustworthy were the manifests getting that number of people out in that short a time with so few resources?
I mean, and this was the frustration, right? It was a completely chaotic process. Now we were able to get some good folks out through that, but when you start to break down the numbers of the 120,000, probably 60 to 90,000 are folks that had a connection to the U.S. We were claiming credit for every single plane that left that airport. Now, U.S. soldiers were providing protection. We were manning that. We were taking care of some of that air traffic control, but that is still not the number of folks who were left behind. The vast majority of the SIVs couldn't get to the gates, couldn't get through, or again, were just stuck in these administrative processes.
Yeah,
long
and then
past
told to go to the airport
anywhere.
And turned away from the airport. Luckily for those people, there are still some very good people on the ground who care about Americans and who care about their safety. They are putting themselves in harm's way to extract them from the country. And none of those people work for the Biden administration. Congressman Meijer, thank you so much for your time.